Hey everybody, and welcome to a new video. And today I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch. Now it was early last year. I think it was 2018 March that I got a Nintendo Switch, and I wasn't really on the hype train like everybody else to get one. I just felt like the PS4 at the time was good enough for me. I didn't really need a secondary system out there. The PS4 was pretty much just putting everything out. I mean, even right now, I still consider it one of the top systems out there for this generation, at least. But people really wanted me to get the Switch and try out some of the games on that system and see what my thoughts were on it. Honestly, I didn't plan on getting a Switch and probably still like maybe a couple years from now, because it just really didn't interest me at the time. But when I got one, I really started to feel a sense of exclusive games, like indie type games that probably wouldn't be put on the PS4 for whatever reason. Now the Switch is a big seller, and when I say a big seller, I want to say like something like Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night, that was kickstarted and put on the PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch. At first it wasn't going to be put on the Switch, but they did that because I guess the Vita version, they felt like they weren't going to make any money on that one, so they canceled that version. The Switch version is the worst version, but yet it sold the most on the Nintendo Switch because of the portability and being a console at the same time. That's one of the amazing things about the Switch. It just, over time, as more titles came out and I started seeing like games that just came out in PAL territories that were exclusive to being physical, there at least, I just felt like the system just kind of just started to win me over, because I started to see like a lot of quirky titles that probably wouldn't come over here as physical. And you guys know I am all about the physical for video games. And just over time, it just kind of like worn on me. Even in my game room right now, I have a section for the Switch. I actually had to move my boxed Super Nintendo games out of the way because I got to put them somewhere else, because the Switch games are just like filling up, and it's pretty crazy how the system just kind of like just won me over out of nowhere. I didn't even expect it. Now the Switch is not my top favorite system of all time or anything like that, but it is my favorite Nintendo console since the Super Nintendo. I didn't think that would happen. I mean, I would say I pretty much fell off with Nintendo when the N64 came out. The GameCube kind of weeded me back in there, but the fact that it didn't have DVD capability, at least that the version that we got, the regular version that came out, didn't have DVD capability in it, so I was like, whatever. And then the Wii came out, and the Wii was cool because it actually was kind of like, it got people into video games that weren't into video games. Like you see, my grandparents, they actually play Wii bowling and everything, so they still play that to this day. They love that. So, yeah, but it still didn't win me over. The Wii U definitely didn't win me over, because to me, it was just a Wii, but a HD version of the Wii, so I kind of fell off. But the Switch, man, there's something about this system that's just really cool, and I don't know. It's just like I don't know what it is about it. It's actually a really cool system. I just admit it. It's really cool. So it's won me over as a secondary system to my PlayStation stuff, because mainly I play on the PlayStation. But when I go out to places, I take my Switch with me and play games on that thing, and it feels like kind of like back when I was a kid playing the Game Boy. It's like, whoa, like it's pretty crazy. So I wanted to show some of the games I have. Well, I'm pretty much going to show you my collection, but I want to show you some exclusives I got here so far for the system. Now, some of these may be exclusive, like somewhat, kind of in a way, because actually, let's just start off with some of these games. So the first game I actually got for the Nintendo Switch, before it even came out, I knew I wanted this game, and I said to myself, eventually when I get the Switch, I already have this game. That's a good way to hunt for some games sometimes. If you know there's a game you want, but you're not ready for that system, you could pick up the game, and it won't be hard to find, definitely, because I felt this game I'm going to show you was going to definitely be hard to find, and that is Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack. Now this is from Indie Crates, the creators of the Mega Man games from back in the day, and I really just wanted this game to have a physical. Now it did get a physical on the 3DS, but I wanted to be able to play the game on a television, on a modern television. So I picked this up, And when I eventually finally got a Switch, I already had this game to play on it, so good times. Next game here is another one that was released on the 3DS. This is Code of Princess for the system. Very cool game if you're a fan of games like beat 'em ups, like if you remember Guardian Heroes on the Sega Saturn. A couple of the makers of that game actually made this game. The 3DS version was published by Atlus, so it has English voice acting. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have the same voice acting in it because it was the rights were changed over pretty much, but definitely a cool game to get on the system. And then there's a Dragon Marked for Death. This is another Indie Crates game. Haven't really got into this one that much, but what I played of it was fun. So this is another cool exclusive for the system. I love the 2D sprite art that this game has. And, well, this is actually the latest game I actually got for the system. This is It'll Do Part 2, or It'll Do 2 Plus. And this is like a kind of like, I would say, I really don't want to call it a Zelda clone, but it plays like a Zelda game. So adventure, top-down adventure, pretty cool from what I'm hearing. I haven't tried it yet, but you guys let me know what you think of it. And these are titles that I'm telling you about that probably wouldn't come out as a physical, even on the PS4 and even in PAL territories, because a lot of games that come out as digital only in America, PAL gets physicals for it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I don't think these would even make the PAL cut for the PS4. So it's kind of cool that Nintendo Switch is getting like these indie type titles for it. And a big company that you guys have probably seen so far that I'm showing off is Nicalis. They are putting out these cool games on the system. Cave Story, I know this came out on 3DS and probably a bunch of other stuff. But this is a cool game to actually play on the Switch. I think this is definitely something very interesting. I kind of always overlooked this game, but this game was actually pretty cool. And then here's where we dip it into a little bit of the unknown territory. If you haven't seen the pickups video I did with Jason, this is Nightmare Boy. This is a platform beat 'em up game. Only came out in PAL territories as a physical for the Switch. So by Badland Games. So definitely check this one out if you like platform types. And then there's RX Raijin. I hope I pronounced this one right. These games got weird names, but this is a shoot 'em up. Some people didn't really like this one that much. I think I kind of fanboyed over it because it was more of a shoot 'em up type game, and I love shoot 'em ups. You know, we need more of them. Shoot 'em ups are more of a niche genre these days. Probably even back when they first came out, they were still more of a niche genre. But yeah, this is another cool exclusive for the Nintendo Switch. And right now, I just want to kind of show you guys what my full Switch collection looks like. And this is pretty much over and up until like when I first got it. This is all the stuff I've collected. Some I've gotten rid of. Like I got rid of Smash Brothers. I couldn't get into that game. It just wasn't for me yet. I couldn't try to force myself to like it. I got rid of that other one. It's like a Dark Souls type game. I forgot what it was called right now. But you gotta downsize if there's games you don't really like on the system, and there was only a couple on the system I didn't really care for, so I got rid of them. But my Switch collection is really built up, and for me to make another section for it, I honestly did not think I would ever have to do that for the system. But Nintendo Switch continually just bust out like cool games and physicals. Now, probably what you're seeing are the game on my system is that a lot of these games came out on PS4 or Xbox One or whatnot, but I like to have access to them as portable games too when I go out of town and stuff like that. So it's really great. Nintendo really had a great idea coming up with a hybrid system, and when I say hybrid, meaning a portable and a console system. That's pretty amazing, and it's brilliant. That's a brilliant idea to come up with for a system. So they've done well just by that idea alone. But yeah, the Switch is definitely what I would call a great, for me, a secondary system. Not my main console, because I like playing on a regular console, my PS4, like I said earlier. But it's just kind of like crazy how this system just came out of nowhere and just like impressed me, because it's hard to impress me when it comes to Nintendo stuff. You guys know what I think of like a lot of Nintendo stuff. I'm very I don't want to say I'm hard on them, but I kind of come down on them like, man, this is some BS if they're releasing something that's crappy or whatnot. But yeah, that's all I really got about the Nintendo system. You guys let me know what you guys think about the Nintendo Switch. Do you guys, is it your main system? Is it a good secondary system for you? I mean, did it really impress you, or is it your favorite Nintendo console? For me, it's golly, I feel like of course I still gotta wait. It's not the end of its life cycle yet, but it's actually really pushing out the Super Nintendo for me. I mean, pushing that out of the way into second place of Nintendo consoles, you know. But we'll see what the future holds for the system. As we know, as of this video, there's a lot of talk of a Nintendo Switch, like main, like kind of like a main one that that'll have more, that'll be more graphically like superior to the current one coming that's out right now, which is the Lite and the regular Nintendo Switch. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw this video out there for you guys about my impressions of the Switch so far. It's actually a really solid system, and it's a great idea, and I'm pretty sure Nintendo's made bundles of money on it. But here's the thing though too, guys, with the Nintendo Switch Lite that's out right now, Nintendo didn't really fix any of the issues that the controls had, the joypads for it. So it's kind of weird today. A lot of people complained about that, but Nintendo didn't fix any of that stuff from what I'm hearing so far. So let me know what you guys think about that as well too. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you in this video. Thanks for watching. Radical Reggie, and I will see you guys later.